since it's another day, billions will kneel and pray. Anything to aid escape from the world so cold.
I'm fucking tired of living in Ohio with this sickness shit, boy.
And we're back with another episode of Buns and Tubs. We're here with you this week. I fucked that up. We're here with you this week on this gloomy Tuesday, right before that national holiday that tells us all to get together with our families and we enjoy delicious turkey dinners and take naps.
Trigger warning. I'm going to cough.
That's fine.
You too?
I might, one way or the other.
It's that Thanksgiving cold, you know?
That just keeps on giving.
Doesn't fucking go away. Yeah. I'm going to eat so much food. It's going to be first world amazing.
Yeah. Turkey. Lots of turkey.
Bougie.
I wouldn't call it bougie.
Bougie.
Yeah. Bougie would be like, I don't eat turkey. I only eat the finest duck. I like duck toe too. But
I don't know if like eating to excess, like purposefully planning on it, eating it, and just lathering in the carb coma to follow.
See, I don't know though. That's like eating big feasts and stuff is not anything new to human culture. So I mean, like now, if you were like, I'm gonna eat all this food, and then I'm gonna throw it up so I can eat more food.
Right? Yeah. Hunger Games.
Yeah. Then I would call you bougie, or like real Romans used to do. You know.
Yeah. Well, we also have a tradition of watching. Like, there's a couple live streams that we found over the last couple of years where people just set up cameras next to homeless like villages, and we watch them be hungry.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that.
Oh, yeah. That's a little bougie.
Made that up.
Oh, okay.
But they could have food too, I guess, you know.
Yeah. So
the government didn't throw it away.
No, we're here today. It's a couple days before Thanksgiving. We, got to go be with our families and stuff like that. And
some of us have to work.
Do all that stuff, yeah. But, celebrating that holiday, we're a group of religious zealots cross an ocean because they were being they were so zealotous that they crossed an ocean to avoid religious persecution for their zealotry.
Yeah, in order to kill another nation of people.
Yeah, came here with no working knowledge of how to survive in the wilderness. We're probably going to die, and then some hapless, naive native helped them out.
Hey, look, but with some white people on it. I'm going to see what they want.
Fed
Dave Chappelle.
The problem is you fed them.
Maybe the reason why I seem to get like a seasonal oil change around Thanksgiving is to relive like how one of the best ways we killed the natives was to just sneeze on them.
Yeah.
You know?
No natural immunity.
Nope. Not to our European germs.
Yeah. So, I mean, in that sense, like... Let's just put it this way. This is what I'm going to say. To me, Thanksgiving, there's a duality with it, right? At one point, yes, historically speaking, terrible things, right?
Yeah.
All considering. But let's just remember the spirit of Thanksgiving, okay? The notion that, like, be thankful for what you have and...
Be thankful for the people that were willing to kill for you so you could enjoy life without murdering.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, think you didn't have to pluck or kill that turkey.
Yeah.
That beautiful bird.
Mm-hmm. Factory farm turkeys.
Yeah.
They're probably the only ones I don't feel bad for, though, because they're so stupid.
I mean, they are dumb.
Do you think they even know what's going on?
I feel like everything knows what's going on.
They drown when it rains, though.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff on Instagram here lately of people, since it's that time of year, denouncing carnism and whatnot.
Vegetarian propaganda.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Talking about how, eating meat is bad and stuff like that. And
I saw one with a turkey that had a naked man on a platter, and he was in the the fetal position.
Yeah.
And it said, now for the stuffing. Like they're going to, fist a man, give him stuff.
Stuff breadcrumbs in his booty.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Good times.
Touché.
Yeah, and then, of course, not to keep shitting on everything that a lot of people love.
Yeah.
The day that precedes Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
The day of, like, the reason that there's still a part of me that hates capitalism and why it exists.
I just love that they did it right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, right. Be thankful for everything you have. Get out of my way, bitch!
Yeah.
Because, like... Nothing says being thankful than punching a pregnant woman over a TV.
I don't know. It's kind of a shame that we don't, at least I've never seen it, but all I've ever experienced is people standing in line. But you always do see the sweet videos.
Yo, yeah. There's always World Star class videos going on around Black Friday. But you know what it notices? It seems like all the most premium Black Friday fucking brawls come from is New Jersey.
Oh.
It's every year you hear, stampede at fucking New Jersey Walmart kills 5 people.
Yeah.
God damn, they go fucking hard in the paint on Black Friday.
Hard as fuck.
As like you said, I don't try to participate in the shit, but the most I've ever seen is people standing in line.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny when I got with Lady Bones. It's really the first time I had direct experience with Black Friday, other than coworkers talking about it.
Yeah.
But they get together and eat lunch. And then they kind of just veg around. They all have the papers with the coupons and what have you. And then they all conglomerate in the living room and pick out the best deals. It's well, at least we had a little bit of thankfulness there. Now we're going to go lust for cheap Chinese-made products.
Yeah. I mean, it's whatever.
I'm excited this year. I get to stay home at the bar.
Yeah, there you go. I mean...
Go out and enjoy yourself.
I mean, I can't say that I'm 100% innocent when it comes to consumerism. I just dropped a pretty big amount of money or expectation of money for a new computer so that I could play Fallout 76 properly with my podcasting partner.
Yeah.
And also, I thought about this last night. We should definitively have some sort of Bones and Tubs themed characters.
That's all I do on video games is plug the podcast.
So I figured you could be called the Bones, and I could be called, or you could be the Bones and I could be Tubbs Podcast, and we team up together.
Yeah, I always play it on Fortnite as a Bones and Tubbs Podcast.
Yeah,
a shortened version, and I like to think as people slaughter me, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna check that out." Yeah, because I never kill anybody.
So here in the near future, it's not here yet because the game already dropped. So we're already behind the curve.
Yeah.
But in the near future, expect to see both of us in the West Virginia fake area in the Fallout world. I fucked that up.
Post-nuclear war.
Post-nuclear West Virginia. Fucking
coming to you to take your fucking everything. Because we need your materials.
Yeah.
Because we need them more than you.
I'm going to take your shit.
You can join us if you want, though. I don't know how. If you want to join our little clan or group.
Well, when we get it all together, I'm sure we'll be able to invite people to come join us.
Be too gangster.
Mm-hmm. Come join the actual nation. We could build a Bones and Tubbs nation inside the Fallout world.
Yeah.
Have a fort.
The best thing that would be is after we get fully established, the nukes drop in real life, and then we get to play Fallout fucking 18 or Fallout 19.
Rated mature.
Yeah, for sure. There's going to be stuff going on in real life that we can't do in the game.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
All I'm going to say is somebody's going to be collecting my wood.
God damn.
But yeah, apologize for this episode. It's like I said, right before the holiday, so we're a little bit scattered today. We have a topic. But we haven't even done the fucking housekeeping yet. We're 10 minutes in, for fuck's sake.
Sheesh.
So before we get started, let's just go through the roundabout here. If you're not a member of our Patreon, you need to get over there.
Yeah, we haven't had any shout-outs in a while. If you want to hear your name broadcasted out into the forever from the Bones and Tubbs podcast, just go on there and give us $1.
Immortalized. You know what? And... we are on Instagram as well, if you want to go check us out over there.
Yeah.
But I think, did we have any other housekeeping?
No.
No?
Nothing I can think of.
Just the normal, hey, go over Patreon. Yeah.
Yeah, just, Patreon, if you like what we do, give us some support. We love you. We love your support.
Yeah.
We need your support.
So, on to the topic then,
let's
say. It's probably going to be a short episode, not going to lie.
Yeah, I'm not prepared whatsoever.
Well, what we'll do is I'll start with the reason for the season, or the episode, I should say.
Yeah.
I kind of had this idea in my head for a while now that I want to do an episode kind of based broadly around the notion that, there's a lot of, propaganda and mass programming that goes on constantly, and we're constantly bombarded with it, so it's hard to tell where it's coming from. But what finally prompted me to say, okay, let's do this episode because I feel like we need to do it, was something you sent me the other day, and that was the
good old Ice Cube.
Yeah, you sent me a video or a music. You sent me a song.
Yeah,
by Ice Cube. It's called "Arrest the President."
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. If I get to see politicians get arrested, I'm always happy. Mm-hmm. But it just seems weird that like he just like comes out of the woodwork after years of like, don't get me wrong. Back in the day, Ice Cube used to be hard as fuck.
Yeah, AF for sure.
Yeah,
Compton maybe.
And California. Then he did like kids movies and shit. And you're just like, okay, I mean that's cool.
Yeah, you bring hood to the traditional stressful Christmas family story, and everything turns out well.
But then he comes back with this song about arresting the president, right? Hard as fuck again.
Yeah.
So it's hard. That's hard to take. Like it's hard to like.
Yeah. Well, it's just I don't feel like it's intelligent. I mean, not to say that we should base intelligence on rap music, of course.
Yeah.
Or any music for that matter, but just the idea behind it. Like one line was that exploitive, deletive, referencing the president is Russian intelligence. Now that's lazy thinking.
Arrest the president. You got the evidence. That nigga is Russian intelligence.
In my opinion.
I mean,
he might be a big old piece of shit.
For all we know, he is Russian intelligence. But here's the thing: like they've been spending almost 2 years investigating this.
He is public enemy number one amongst the deep state. I believe if he had any ties to Russia, we would have known about it by now.
That's my thinking too. It's either. I think it could be for all I know, I thought about this the other day. It could be like a game of Mexican. It could be like a Mexican standoff, right? They know he was tied with Russia, but the problem is he also knows that they're a bunch of fucking child fuckers.
Yeah,
who worship Satan.
Yeah, so
and it's one of those things where like if you release that I have tied, like we helped Russia rig this election and da 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 da, I am going to expose you as the child molesters that you are.
Yeah, I just want to see it all burn.
So honestly, if that was the case and we find out, like, oh, Trump was a fucking Russian plant, and also everyone else is a bunch of child molesting Satanists, like, I'm not, like, I'm cool with that. You
can go back to some older Bones and Subs episodes and relook Anarchy up, Because that's what happens when you have a ruling class. You get some of them like fucking children and worshiping the Dark Lord. The other ones are bought off by other countries.
Yeah. Let the fur fly, But, no, it just seemed weird that, like, he's coming out with this and, it's not propaganda that, African-American unemployment is at a record low right now.
Yeah. And
also, he's the first president to actually talk about real-life prison reform in a while.
Well, it's good to note that rap music has been a stable part in ruining black families. I mean, they
perpetuate violence,
perpetuate falling into the they call it the trap or the drug dealing life, which then makes you a slave to the prison system.
Yeah.
So therefore, I guess it should fight back against someone who wants to give black people jobs.
Well, the crazy part is it's like prison, like the two things that would raise up like a community that has had their problems for a long time, and trust me, that's an episode in of itself that we're going to do.
Oh, it's coming.
It's coming. To me, like, when I hear something like that, it makes me think that the deep state is trying to push back on the notion that and I've seen it all over the place, African-American citizens becoming aware, like, of the fact, like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Maybe there is a grain of truth here. Maybe the fact that, like, these fucking crime-ridden cities who have been run by Democrats for years
that are gun-free zones
have not helped a single goddamn one of us.
Right.
It's not to say that Republicans are...
No, I believe when you mention Democrats and Republicans in today's age, knowing what we know, it automatically, in my mind, goes to a word that's the word of the week, the PBL, Podcast Builders League.
What is it?
Tautology.
Tautology.
Yeah. The saying of the same thing twice in different words, generally considered to be fault of style. E.g., they arrived one after the other in succession. Huh. So, I mean, basically you're saying the same thing with different words. Maybe it's not tautology, but I got the word in there this week.
In reality, that when it comes to not helping black Americans, Democrats and Republicans arrive in a form of tautology.
Yeah, come on.
PBL word of the week.
PBL, got it in there. Next time we'll have to do it without giving the reason. We'll just have to use the word.
Yeah.
But we're getting our feet wet.
Yeah.
Steve Kaminsky of the Baked and Wake podcast. We got you, dog.
Got you, dog. So, I mean, either side hasn't really done much anything for them. But the thing is, it's like he's come forward. Like we see the numbers, we see that the job rates are going up, and then he's talking about the other thing that is a big hamper on the African American community, which is the rigged prison system that continues to keep black people behind bars. I mean, there's not rocket science here, everybody. You look at the numbers and see what it is.
Wasn't it this year or late last year they had that story break about a judge that got caught sentencing teenagers or young adults to prison to get a kickback from the private prison industry?
I wouldn't doubt it. And the thing is, it's like, and you know, it's not coincidence that African Americans tend to get longer sentences than their white criminals as well. Like, there's just so many like deep-rooted, seated things in all this, like, that are fucked up. Yeah. Like I said, that's a whole episode in and of itself, right?
Yeah.
So, like, but that started the whole, like, notion in my head, like, this feels like propaganda.
Yeah.
So I was like, holy shit, it's time to do an episode about propaganda.
Yeah.
Okay, now to give you guys just and that was a whole fucking... That's like, you know how some movies start and without any title or anything, and the shit just starts, and then like 10 minutes in, the title shows up?
Yeah, and then now...
That was that.
Now that we're going to give the title, and then probably some Tarantino people are like, oh, this one's directed by Tarantino again. Sweet.
Bones and Tubbs present
propaganda.
But no, that's basically like what the episode, like, I had to give you that whole backstory to get you to this point.
What's your palate?
So, to give you an idea... let's just start with the word. Let's define the word, right? Propaganda, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the original notion was, and mind you, the whole word itself was started by one of our favorite organizations, the Catholic Church.
Fantastic organization.
When they started, the notion was propaganda comes from the root word propagate.
Yeah.
Which means to spread.
Spread the word.
Right? So the whole notion of propaganda is the notion of spreading a message.
Fake news.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and of course, they more or less created the word. The notion of propaganda has been around much longer than, like, the Catholic Church. The notion of propaganda goes back way further than that. Like, the notion of giving information to people that is definitively biased or worded in a way that would make you see things a certain way, right?
Yeah.
I want to talk less about that. I want to talk about more as a tool of governments.
Yeah.
Right. And, you know, through history, even in earlier times, you see governments and states using propaganda to sway its citizens in a certain direction. But what I'm talking about today is more, we're talking in the last 200 years when it comes to propaganda. Because the thing is that it really didn't, like, hit its fucking stride until technology caught up with it. And they were able to, like, start churning out shit.
Yeah.
And then you get to the point where, like, people become so powerful that it's not just governments now. It's people working in tandem with governments, like the media, William Randolph Hearst and whatnot. Like, basically being like, hey, we can make the people feel however the fuck you want them to feel. You want to go to war? Fuck it. They're going to want to go to war, too.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so, and the thing is, up to a certain point in our history, the word itself wasn't really, like, there wasn't a negative connotation with it. People understood that there was, like, people were trying to get a message out there, and they called it propaganda. Mm-hmm. Now, in the modern vernacular, when we hear the word propaganda, it has a negative connotation because we automatically assume that it's a biased piece, right?
Yeah, right.
You know, it's like if you went to North Korea and you saw, you're driving around and you see these giant fucking painted murals of, like, North Koreans fucking stabbing the shit out of some Americans or something like that.
Yeah.
Propaganda, right?
Yeah. I was trying to find the quote. I can't find it, of course, but it's someone in the thrones of American power throughout history that was addressing his own kind in reference to the cattle or us. And he said, "We will know that our job with propaganda is complete when everything the American people believe is false." And I think we're pretty close to that.
Yeah. I'd like to quote he was a minister of propaganda for the Nazi Party.
Goebbels.
Yes, Goebbels.
Goebbels.
Once said about propaganda, "The best propaganda is that which, as it were, works invisibly, penetrates the whole of life without the public having any knowledge of the propagandistic initiative."
Yeah. Ooh.
So, I feel like the Nazis did a fairly decent job of, like, beginning the process of taking what people perceived as news.
Yeah.
Because before then, people considered news to be, objective. It was neutral, right? It was just reporting what happened.
Allegedly.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, Goebbels, I'm not saying he invented it, but he definitely fine-tuned the process to make propaganda seem like it was objective.
Mm-hmm.
That it wasn't biased and that it wasn't trying to propagate a certain idea. And, like, in the grand scheme of things, you see that even up until today. Like, and the thing is, every American knows it, too. Whether you're tuning to CNN or whether you're tuning to Fox News, you know that they're inherently biased. So, by that, you know inherently that each side is professing propaganda.
Yeah.
They're not actually giving us the news. They're propagating their view.
It's the mouthpiece of various like power organizations just trying to skew one group of people against another based on their lies.
Yeah. And using it to their own advantage. You know what I mean? The way they do it, it's to the point now, like when you've watched enough and you've seen enough, I consider what they do sloppy.
Oh, it's gross.
Because like it's so inherently gross and sloppy. Because like when you look at it, like they either, depending on what their view is and how they feel about it, you could either see them like basically saying, well, we treat people as individuals or we treat people collectively, right? Like if one person of a certain demographic does something, depending on whether we like them or not, depends on if we're going to treat them as an individual or treats them as part of a whole group.
Right.
I.e., say a shooter.
Yeah.
Let's say the Vegas shooter, for example.
Right.
Right?
They had no problem putting his face out there immediately.
Not only that, but saying crazy flippant shit that, like, white men are the biggest danger to this country and shit like that, right? Mm-hmm. But say the shooter was a person of color. Well, then they would be like, whoa. You cannot judge an entire group of people based on one individual. I got a better example. An Islamic terrorist.
That's racist.
Even saying, like, that the person was propagating Islamic terror is enough to fucking throw some people into a tailspin.
Yeah.
Like, you can even get the term Islamic terror out of our former president's mouth because he didn't want to offend Islam by saying that such and such was a product of Islamic terrorism.
Yeah.
Even though it exists. Just like white nationalist terrorism exists. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking thing.
I like the latest propaganda I saw when they were arguing back and forth about Trump using the term that he was nationalist, not globalist. And watch the CNN talking heads go back and forth like they were holding a hot fucking potato. They're like, you can't believe he used that racist word, nationalism.
Yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up, man. There's nothing to do. If he'd have came out there rocking a Charlie Chaplin with a stiff, waving hand, yeah, I'd be like, that's racist.
Orange man bad.
Orange man bad.
But,
definitely not racist, though.
No, see, the problem is that, like, and propaganda goes even deeper, right? The whole notion, like, to an extent, like, we have to take, like, American propaganda is, in Noam Chomsky's view, unique, right? Because, like, and I think now that's starting to splinter a bit, but I think it's splintering not for the right reason, not for the reason of truth, but for the reason of globalism.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Like, I watched a taught lecture that Noam Chomsky did, and he's talking about how when it comes to, like, American propaganda for the longest time, the mainstream media was always propagating the notion that Americans were always wanting peace. Like, the country in and of itself only did what they did in the guise that they were trying to help people.
Kind of like oops insurance.
Like, holding a gun to a family and saying, we're here to help.
Don't you want peace?
We're here. We're going to give you so much goddamn peace that you're going to die. Like,
right. We were joking the other day about shaking down a local meth lab just because we don't like them. You know, we don't like them polluting our community. And going in and pretending to be Italian mafia, right? Yeah. And then shaking them down for oops insurance. Mm-hmm. If anybody doesn't know what oops insurance is, that's where we come in and we're like, hey, you haven't been paying your bills. We're like, what bills? Yeah. Your oops insurance bills.
You got to have that oops insurance, brother.
What's oops insurance? And then you just beat the shit out of somebody. Like, oops.
Yeah. You know? Oops. Didn't mean to do that.
Propaganda.
But, he built up this notion that like, say two countries were fighting each other, right? Mm-hmm. And then they decided to negotiate a peace. And say that for whatever reason the United States was involved. If that said peace was going on without our involvement, we would say, that whatever they were trying to do was bunk.
Yeah.
Because they weren't trying to do what we were trying to do, which was actually bring peace. That's what they say. Like, oh, we're bringing peace to you. We're going to give you so much goddamn peace, you're not going to be able to handle it.
Right.
And the thing is now I think there is, like I said, it fractured, right? Mm-hmm. There are, like, dissenting opinions that are like, no, what we're doing, like, our whole, like, fucking, our United States world police shit is fucking bunk. But the problem is that, like I said, it's not being done for the right reasons. Instead of being like it's guised as the right reasons, and that's how propaganda works. It's like we're saying, oh, you shouldn't bomb fucking brown people anymore.
Yeah, but we all know the government has like $1 billion a week kill brown people habit.
Yeah, like and there's people in the media say we need to stop. And that's the thing though, like there's not enough people. Like you'd think there'd be more being like, hey, we need to stop bombing brown people. But there really isn't, right? Well, only when they need to use it to their own ends do they bring it up in the first place.
It's like Obama getting the Peace Prize.
Nobel Peace Prize, yeah.
And he droned, like, up until, at that time, he was, like, the most drone kills ever under a president. And he's also, obviously, the first black president, but the first black president took no shame in bombing African countries.
Yeah. Propaganda.
Peace Prize.
But see, the thing is, like... and I've seen this before, is they said that the anti-war liberals don't exist anymore.
No, just
because because they basically said that like anybody that's anti-war at this point and didn't protest Barack Obama is a shill and a liar, because he was fucking bombing brown people carte blanche, just like the last 3 or 4 people behind him.
But he was really good at talking, so
he was really good at talking, and he was in the right party.
Yeah.
They stopped caring about war and us bombing people as long as it's the party that they like. Once that party's out of power again, now we hate bombing brown people again.
I like this quote here from Malcolm X. Love him or hate him, Malcolm X knew what he was talking about in a lot of ways.
I could dig Malcolm X. He had an idea.
Says, this is the media, an irresponsible media. It will make the criminal look like the victim and the victim look like he's the criminal. If you aren't careful, the media will have you hating people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. This is sort of a propaganda tactic that I would call psychological warfare.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, when it came to Malcolm X, everything, his vision about, like, people always kind of abscond him because he advocated violence in certain situations. But here's the thing, though. Here is the thing. Okay? His advocation of violence did not just go, like, full bore. He didn't blame all white people for the problems of fucking black people, right?
Yeah.
He focused and this is probably why they killed his ass. He focused his energy in the right direction and says it's not just regular fucking, it's not the masses we have to deal with. It's the cocksucking government that's doing this to us.
Right. Yeah, I think...
Like, they're the ones that are systematically destroying our families and shit. Like, they didn't do that.
No. Democide.
Like, and the thing is, like, at the end of the day, like... If I'm not normal to advocate violence, but I would advocate violence against the government. Fuck them.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
No, but seriously though, fuck them.
Yeah. Well, if they're going to do wrong to you, you should have every right to defend yourself.
But they've been doing wrong to everybody for a long time. That's the thing. Like,
I think I can't remember who said the quote again earlier, but I heard it yesterday on another podcast where he was talking about it was a Higher Side Chats, and he was saying that basically the amount of tyranny a society has is the sum total of the collective obedience. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you're not willing to commit violence, allegedly, to protect yourself and your natural rights, then of course tyranny is going to slip in there.
Yeah,
and really you only have yourself to blame.
He's right, He's
not wrong.
The thing is, and I think at the end of the day, like, when it comes to this episode and what I wanted it to be, I wanted to just convey the message that, like, whether you consider yourself further right or further left on the spectrum, or honestly, if you're further north, I have nothing for you. The thing is that everything that you see, whether it be news, movies, TV, fucking newspapers, radio, internet, everything you see for the most part.
Mass communication.
is propaganda.
Right.
It all has a bias. There's so little objective truth in the world anymore. Like, it boggles my fucking mind. Like, you just watch, like, and you see, like, depending on what group is in control of whatever, you see, like, once you begin to see, like, between the lines and you see what their message is, you get it. You see why they propagate what they want done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a good article I'll point everybody to back in 2013. U.S. repeals propaganda ban, spreads government-made news to Americans. And that was one of two different stories that came out within the last 5 to 10 years where the U.S., basically admitted and went back and sort of reauthorized and legalized their propaganda use against the American people. So, that's fine.
They're legally allowed to lie to you.
Yeah, so you can't go back and be like, well, you propagated the people with your bullshit violence advocation. And you straight up lied. Because, it basically makes it to where they can make up any fucking news story they want. And it's legal. Okay. I don't know. Anybody, and I tell you, the one thing that really grinds my gears is when I hear people say, like, either it's right or left, and they use the terms propaganda. Like, well, that's just propaganda in the news, if you're talking about a certain news story. But then they go on to tell you about how their news story that they got from CNN or their story from Fox News was not propaganda.
Yeah.
No, it's all propaganda. Yeah. You're full of shit.
So we've reached levels of autistic screeching we never thought possible, because we have an entire generation that has just been completely and utterly indoctrinated by different forms of biased media.
Yeah, just turn the fucking TV off.
Like, fuck, dude.
Turn the radio off.
And I don't really have any advice on this other than, like, at the end of the day, like, if you're looking up news articles or this or that, which unfortunately it's a facet of our life now.
Yeah.
Everything you see and hear, I want you to thoroughly examine it. Please take care.
Yes. Generative principle.
As you see these things, because here's the thing: at the end of the day, if it looks like shit, smells like shit, and tastes like shit,
it's probably not chocolate.
Yeah, it's not chocolate.
It's shit.
It's definitely shit. Because that's usually what they're trying to give us too. Like, and you see, like, if any big thing happens in all the fucking news media, just watch how they fucking propagate this shit. Watch how they fucking get their message across, right?
Yeah.
From one to another. You know, whether they're demolishing one and kissing the ass of the other, or you have it on the opposite side.
Yeah, come on home.
It's eternally frustrating.
Yeah.
To watch and see this happen.
Alex Jones said it best with his quote of "There's a war on for your mind."
Yeah,
because there is.
Yeah,
love him or hate him, in his massive supplement line. But he tells you the truth. And
by the way, Bones sent me a video earlier. Everybody should go check it out.
I got it from Jess.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
And
premium.
Someone took parts of the new trailer for Detective Pikachu and dubbed Alex Jones's voice in lieu of Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu.
I never sucked any wieners.
You go check it out. What's the title? Do you remember?
Let me look it up real quick. The video is called, it's on YouTube, Pikachu Gets a New Voice Actor, and it's Alex Jones. It is very premium. I'll share it to the Facebook page.
I laughed wholeheartedly.
Yeah. It's just weird. It's kind of a weird synchronicity that I got that message, because I had a message from the doctor the other day. Yesterday, maybe. Mm-hmm. I've been going to bed early as fuck, so I don't see this shit. But he sent it to me like 8 o'clock. So anyway, it all fit together at the same time. Where he's like, am I the only one that's on the fence about Alex Jones being a shill? And I'm like, no. Like, how do you mean? We were talking about it. He's like, I heard him talking about the country, the state of the country, the way it's going, what could happen. And he sounded like he legitimately cared. And I was like, yeah. Like, I mostly like him, you know. But I do... It's fence riding for a reason.
He's too fucking... Here's my problem with the dude. For real. He's too fucking outrageous. But I'm sorry. Like,
the doctor made a good point, though. Like, the craziest shit that he said always ends up coming true. Whether or not he's legitimate or being paid.
But it's like, at the same time, think about it like this. Like,
propaganda.
Yeah, because, like, one of his most famous things that people always fucking hit on, the turn the frogs gay thing. Like... Okay,
it's a story.
But it's so. And here's the thing: is it true?
It's a study.
Yeah, if you look at the study, yes, it's completely true. But saying "turn them gay" to me, like, it's so like broad and such a scattershot statement because like
turn the freaking frogs gay.
Yeah, saying turning them gay, like it didn't really like it changed their sex, like or it confused their sex organs, like. And I guess in the broad, huge sense, yes, it turned them gay. But at the same time, like...
Well, he's not trying to wake you up with the study by reading it piecemeal, which is the way that you and I would be like, holy fucking shit, did you hear that really monotone and Alex Jones video that made sense about the frogs and the gender change via the chemicals in the water? He did it to, like, his base.
Yeah.
So he couldn't read them a study. He'd be like, the turn of the freaking frogs gay!
Yeah.
You know? And they're all like, there's a study out. Them frogs.
Gay.
Sucking wiener down there by the pond. I seen him. I told you, Jeremy. Didn't I?
Yeah.
I get what he's doing. His propaganda is propaganda of truth, according to him.
According to him. But once again, we're talking propaganda is a bias.
See, but our filters are so strong, we don't know if we can trust anyone.
Yeah.
Can we even trust ourselves?
Yes, you could trust the Bones and Tubs podcast.
Because our propaganda is the truth.
Because here's the thing, like, we've even admitted, like detector of propaganda is when a side isn't willing to admit when they fucked up and said something wrong.
Yeah.
I think on the Bones and Tubs podcast, we've admitted that we have failed in the past to give you the right information.
We are constantly telling you that we are doing our very best to artistically bring you the truth.
So the thing is, like, at the end of the day, are we propaganda?
Isn't everything?
Well, here's the thing, I think we give both sides the things all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be biased.
I will say this, though. The only time I will give directed propaganda, I guess, from the sense of the word, because it's what I believe to be true, is the natural law Mark Passio arguments. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, yeah. I see what you mean by that.
I will do everything in my power to only point you that way. So I guess that's my lean.
Yeah.
Our lean.
Our bias is that we want everyone to live to their best potential and
not be a slave.
And understand their rights.
Have a basic responsibility and understand the generative principle.
Listen, if that's my bias, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, at the end of the day, like, oh, wow, Bones and Tubs out there telling people how they should be free and shit.
I don't like that show because they're the ones telling me that I'm a slave, and I didn't hear it on Fox News. Because they told me I was in the best goddamn country of this planet, and Bones and Toes, bunch of tinfoil hat wearing goddamn homosexuals. They're down there drinking the water, turning them gay. I don't know.
I get where you're going with it.
Mouse salad.
You could do like the other side of it and be like, I was listening to the Bones and Tubs podcast the other day, and they talked about how butt sex was funny. Oh, fuck, I fucked that up.
Butt sex is hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Even our homosexual listeners, I'm pretty sure, are not offended by it, right? Yeah. We talked to, shout out Clay Wells, for telling us, he shot us a message to let us know he's not our typical demographic, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think and reach out to us and let us know, but I think that you probably kind of get a giggle at the shit we talk about because you can tell we're not homophobic. Yeah. We just laugh at funny stuff like, I mean, butt sex is funny to me.
Yeah, exactly. I can't reiterate enough. Like
even heterosexual sex, right? When you're having sex and then it causes the pussy to fart. Yeah, I laugh because it's funny.
I mean, think about it like this: like in the grand scheme of things, like. If you were like just an observer watching two people have sex, I would probably laugh at it. You know what I mean? Like in person, I'd probably laugh or be like, oh, sorry, folks. Oh, let me get out. Let me go ahead and get out of here now.
Yeah,
just trying to get by here.
Yeah, I like to think that this is the time when I'm editing the episode later. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to start looking for YouTube compilations of like orgasm face or O face.
Yeah,
there's a website that you guys can check out. It's called Beautiful Agony. And it's fucking funny to me.
Is it cum faces?
It's cum faces.
Oh, my God.
They have the camera on their face, right? Mm-hmm. And then they just diddle themselves. You don't see any nudity or anything like that, but they're funny.
Is it dudes, too?
Yeah, it's both. You can choose, obviously, because we wouldn't want to discriminate.
Listen, man, do you know how much money you'd have to pay me to make me watch a video of my cum face? I don't want to fucking see that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
I would disturb myself with it. Like, I can't do that.
The pussy.
Oh, my God.
People, man. People are funny.
You're never going to get me to fucking take a I've never taken a picture of myself mid fucking...
Maybe that's the real reason behind, and trigger warning, I'm about to fuck up a furry, but maybe that's the reason why they dress up like animals, because they're all deathly afraid of, like, seeing someone else's cum face.
You don't have to see it when you just have a constantly smiling wolf.
Yeah.
Like, you look behind you and he's
always happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucker.
You just hear, like, a soft grunt from inside the mask, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know it's over with. Yeah.
Oh my god. How long did it take for us to devolve into utter madness?
Talking shit about furries.
It's just... I don't know. I think the people know that we mean well.
Well, we are biased against furries, I'll tell you that.
I am definitely not about the furry life.
No.
I'm sure there are people on the inside of those sweaty fucking animal costumes, and they're decent people sometimes in some ways, but their sex habits are disturbing to me.
Well, just the fact that they voluntarily walk around in a giant fucking...
And they poop in litter and stuff.
Do they?
Yeah. That's one of some of the stories I read. I think we talked about it before when we got our death threats from the furries. But
yeah, as I say, that's the reason why, though. Like, it's not unfounded. It's not like we just, like decided one day that we were going to hate furries. No, man. We didn't say shit else about them, and then a band of them came together and attacked us.
Yeah.
Like, unfounded attacks on us.
Trick no good, because if I see, and I glance constantly around my surroundings, and I might miss some things, but I will never miss somebody dressed up in a furry costume coming to me to do violence.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're definitely going to see that motherfucker hiding in the bushes. With a fucking smiling fox face with a machete.
Yeah. I think that about wraps it up for us, I'd say.
Yeah.
A little bit shorter episode, but not too short.
Nope, just give you, like, the typical seed planting. Go out there and check out some propaganda.
And, you know, how about, I'm sure this episode will be up probably tomorrow sometime.
Yeah, most likely I'll be up tonight doing it.
And then, you know, so it'll be out by Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so when you're in your carb-induced coma around people that you only see sometimes and you're trying not to get into an argument.
Hey, I got a good idea.
Yeah.
I got a real good idea.
Is this a call to action?
This is what I want you to do.
Call to action to the Bones and Tubs Nation?
I want all of you to go out there. I want you to go to your family's Thanksgivings. And the first thing I want you to tell them, in the middle of the fucking table during the prayer, is this. Taxation is theft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Three things. Taxation is theft.
Tautology, come on.
Taxation is theft. Bones and Tubs. Or KYS.
Or all of them, yeah. See that
all three of them at the same time.
We definitely are the dessert on the table when it comes to like awkward family conversations.
Yeah.
So like, you might be worried like fucking Uncle Jim over there is gonna. We know that he's gonna get enough to drink and he's gonna start on his Trump train shit. He wore his hat last year. He'll probably wear it again this year. And then you got Uncle Jim like these fucking kids and their gender neutral fucking arguments.
Somebody's gonna that's the thing, there's always at every family dinner I've ever been to, somebody tries to fucking we could all be enjoying a meal quietly, you know, little small chitter chatter, whatnot. We all know we have different ideologies and different points of view, and then one asshole in the family
now it's time
just wants to fucking kick the goddamn hornet's nest.
Now's the time that when they do that, you spray that fucking nest with some poison that they're not expecting. Like, hit them with the slavery argument. Let them know, like, oh, yeah, because, that's slavery.
Yeah.
Maybe you could check out the Kabbalion.
Yeah.
And they're like, well,
yeah.
It might be.
Like, you get a family member, you say taxation theft, and they say,
my roads.
My roads. And then you're like, fuck you, slave.
Yeah.
I mean, you could throw that in there, too.
Bitch. Yeah.
But...
definitely even, you know, I don't want to go back to the pimping of the Patreon, but if you can do it, do it. If not, the best way you can help us is to give us some shout outs on the social, maybe to your friends. Hey,
you're going to see all your family, you know, you scattershot that shit and say, hey, you know, there's this podcast called Bones and Tubs. You might like them, you might probably will hate them.
Listen to how fucking crazy this shit is.
Yeah.
Dave, check it out.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, maybe you change your mind, Dave.
Maybe, Dave. I mean, Dave.
Hey, Jenny. Jenny.
Why
don't you go take a look at this?
Yeah.
Hey, listen to this. You put their headphones on, and they throw up a little bit, like,
yeah.
But to close this episode, since it is the Thanksgiving, we hope you have a good one.
Yeah, we hope that you're thankful. That's really important.
Be thankful for a lot of things. You know, I'm thankful for the Bones and Tubs podcast. I get to come on and do a weekly show with my best friend.
Yeah.
Every week.
We're thankful.
Yeah.
Thankful for each other's friendship.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Thankful for the fact that the lights aren't out yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thankful for, you know...
plumbing.
Yeah.
Food.
I'm gonna be thankful for Fallout 76 here in like a week.
Yeah.
Thankful for my boy, you know.
I mean, fast forward 40 years from now when we're living in that world, like the world was so crazy, like we had everything we wanted, but we'd rather play games that are like right now.
Yeah. No, we hope you all have a good Thanksgiving. We hope you enjoy spending time with your loved ones and friends. We hope we see you next week on another episode. We're almost to the 100th episode.
Yeah, and we got it figured out too.
Yeah,
I think. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to reveal it yet on the show. I'll give you a hint. It's possibly, as far as I'm concerned, one of the fucking granddaddy conspiracy theories of all time.
Yeah.
And we've never really done an episode about it.
When we pull the trigger on this thing, your head's going to go back into the left.
Back into the left. Thank you all for listening. Hey, go check out our Patreon.
Please.
For starting with just $1 a month, you could join the nation, support the cause. You get this show for free in all reality.
Yeah.
But
what would make me happier, though, is just some fucking iTunes reviews.
I mean, you voluntarily pay like $12 a month for propaganda. Because let me tell you something, Netflix is chock full.
Yeah. Let us be the shield between you and the propaganda, and we'll just throw shit at everything that comes your way.
Yeah. Go check us out on Instagram.
Yeah.
There's a link in there to go to TeePublic, get some merchandise.
Ooh.
Hey, you know what that'd be great for? Christmas presents.
Yeah.
If you happen to like the show and you want somebody to buy you a T-shirt,
yeah,
just give them that link.
Right. Come on. If you want one, make them buy it for you.
Go buy that Bones and Tubs merch.
Yeah.
But
Definitely. If you want to get us anything for Christmas, we could definitely use some Guitar Center gift cards.
Hell yeah.
Because we're about to upgrade the fucking sound.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's gonna be
even better. I mean, I like the sound now, but I think it's going to be double Italian hand gesture.
Premium.
But anyways, we'd like to thank you all for listening. We hope you enjoy the rest of your week. We'd like to thank Ryan Simpson for letting us use his music on the show, and
Frank America.
There you go. For letting us use his music on the show as well.
Yeah.
We hope to see you next time, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Quote, and then a goodbye. Life is brutal but beautiful. Birth allude to a funeral. We love you.
We really do.
Yep. What a marvel. Yep. What a mystery. What a journey. Some old shit. Gonna fix it. Yeah. In the garden there was 2 trees. Don't eat from one, the other gonna keep you healthy. But y'all fucked up and broke that trust. So get out this garden and go back to dust. Crawling our way home, calling on a payphone. Charges be like way wrong for all the day we stay gone. We've been in the wait zone, praying for the day homes. I always wanna stay bound. Heaven is a way found. Christ provide the way round. All the shit that drag down. Sacrifice he paid now. Back to life to save y'all. People call him savior. He the one that made ya. Forget about the days that been looking for a way back. Yo. In the garden there was 2 trees. Don't eat from one, the other gonna keep you healthy. But y'all fucked up and broke that trust. So get out this garden and go back to dust. Crawling our way home, calling on a payphone. Charges be like way wrong for all the day we stay gone. We've been in the wait zone, praying for the day homes. Always wanna stay bound. Heaven is a way found. Christ provide the way round. All the shit that drag down. Sacrifice he paid now. Back to life to save y'all. People call him savior. He the one that made ya. Forget about the days that been looking for a way back. Yo. In the garden there was 2 trees. Don't eat from one, the other gonna keep you healthy. But y'all back up, cause Christ stepped up. So come back to the garden, cause in God we trust. Crawling our way home, calling on a payphone. Charges be like way wrong for all the day we stay gone. We've been in the wait zone, praying for the day homes. Always wanna stay bound. Heaven is a way found. Christ provide the way round. All the shit that drag down. Sacrifice he paid now. Back to life to save y'all. People call him savior. He the one that made ya. Forget about the days that been looking for a way back. Yo. In the garden there was two trees. Don't eat from one, the other gonna keep you healthy. But y'all back up, cause Christ stepped up. So come back to the garden, cause in God we trust.